Hello, welcome to my channel. So here I am looking at this John Doe because I skipped some of the John Does to go back to him. And I have this one, and he went missing he was found. It's a John Doe, unidentified male, was found in Washington County, Utah. He was found September 9th, 2014, and it said estimated age 35 to 45, so I go 30 to 50, to give it a few years because it's estimated, and I like to add a few years. And the estimated year of death is 2014. And hikers found the skeletal remains in a drainage wash after heavy rains. The remains were found in a remote area near Virgin, Utah. The post-mortem interval is estimated 1 to 5 years. So that would be 2009 to 2014. Somebody would have had to have gone missing who was 5'6" to 6'1", and I did 30 to 50 because I can. And there's only one person that I could find. One person, and he was 30 years old. And I thought I thought he went missing from Utah. But then, the cell phone's pinging like he's near the freeway, like he's headed back to St. George on the freeway, but maybe in somebody else's vehicle. And that bothered me. So now I'm wondering if that could be him, right? Because I'm sure I looked for other John Does, but I'm wondering why his phone was pinging near the freeway. And he's 5'10", so he is between 5'6" and 6'1". And he lived in Washington County. So if he would have made it home and something would have happened to him at home, then this John Doe could be him. So, and I don't see anybody else that it could be unless it's somebody, like there was somebody who went missing maybe 4 or 5 hours away. So it could have been them maybe, but I don't even know if they're the right height. No, they couldn't have been them because they're only like 5'2". No, this is the only person I could see that it could be. Anyway, had strawberry blonde hair and blue eyes, but he would have had to have made it home. And so this is 33 minutes away from Washington to Virgin, Utah. And I wonder what happened. So and I've seen a lot of people that go missing from Utah and their vehicles are found in Nevada, and it throws me off. And I keep wondering, how did they get them to go from Utah to Nevada, or did they do something to them and steal their vehicle, and then how did their vehicle end up in Nevada, and those people end up missing, and then you don't know whether their body's going to be found in Utah or Nevada, or what happened to them, or why, right? I keep seeing these, and it bothers me so much. So he's an LDS member, a Mormon, so he might have been helping somebody. That would have been a way to get somebody. Maybe they were offered to pay him money to help them do something. I wondered if somebody was getting cars and bringing them back to sell them or what they were doing. And you can pause this and read it. I don't want to read this. I've got a whole video on him. But yeah. Attitude. He's a Mormon. He's LDS, and he would have an attitude of servitude and humility. So he might have been trying to help somebody. So I'm gonna go back, and this is where his vehicle was found, right here. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in so you can see. Might take me a second. So his vehicle was found in this cul-de-sac. And I don't know why it was in this cul-de-sac. But he parked the vehicle in the cul-de-sac, and then they got him on camera walking across the street and just parking the vehicle. And I don't know if he walked across the street this way to one of these houses, right? I'm gonna zoom out a little bit so you can see the street names better, in case you know somebody in that area that you think might have done something to him or something like that, right? And now I'm gonna follow it in the blue and white. I like this better, to where his phone pinged to. To where it said the area where his phone pinged, right? So he would have traveled through this area. if he was with his phone and went this way. Because I keep thinking, well, maybe somebody will see the video and they'll be like, oh, I know this or I know that, or I know somebody that lives in that area that works in there, or their son lives there, or was visiting and works there, or somebody was moving, or something that he might have been helping, right? Or maybe I know somebody that called such and such to ask to help them move or do something, or to move their belongings out to a storage unit that was, they lived there and they were moving out, and they might have been moving their items and needed help to move their items into a storage unit near such and such, right? And this is the third place the phone pinged, the third area, and the second area is right here. So I thought, well, maybe he went to help somebody move. Maybe they were moving from Nevada to Utah, or from Utah to Nevada, or yeah, maybe they were moving from, because it seems like maybe they would have gone to church with him. He would have met him at church. Maybe they were moving from Nevada to St. George, Utah. Maybe they were putting their items in storage or something, right? And they needed his help. I don't know where he would have met him at. Maybe they were new to the church. And that's all speculation. There's a Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints right here. So his phone pinged in that area, and then his phone pings here for a couple of days, it said. I think it was a couple of days. Was it a couple of days, it said? I don't know. Let's see. Early the next morning, his voicemail on the signal was picked up US 95 on Russell Road. It stayed in that location for 2 days until the signal was lost. So that's right here. Isn't that like getting back onto the freeway, like if you're going to St. George, Utah, right? So then I'll add the St. George, Utah back in. That's not supposed to have the AM, PM in there. I don't know why that's there. But then we add St. George, Utah. If he was with somebody that was going there, which is right here. And obviously, whatever happened to him, they didn't need his vehicle, because his vehicle's here. Why would he leave his vehicle there? But something happened to him. Something happened to him, and I don't know what. But this unidentified person, this John Doe, was found, and to me, I think this, because I couldn't find anybody else that went missing from that area. And I don't know if he made it back home. I don't know if he could be this John Doe. I don't know, because he could be because I don't know if he something could have happened to him in Nevada, or it could have happened to him after he got home, if he made it home. You know? I don't know. There was that man who, the husband of Susan Powell, but she lived pretty far away from him. She didn't live in St. George. They didn't find any connection or any way they would have known each other. She lived all the way in West Valley. And just because they went missing from Utah around the same time, I think her husband was the person that might have had something to do with what happened to her. And she went missing December 7th, and he went missing December 12th, and I think they were both members of the Mormon Church, so I think that her husband tried to say, oh, well, it must have had something to do with him, but look how far away that is, right? So I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't think so at all. And this is only 2.5 hours. This is only 2.5 hours. So if something would have happened to him, and his phone right here, wait a minute, this phone right here, if somebody, that really bothers me. So I don't know if you know anything. Because when did his phone first, I don't know when his first, I don't know when his phone first pinged there. I'm guessing something, his phone must have been on the ground somewhere. I'm betting his phone was on the ground, right? Near the freeway somewhere. Because otherwise, why would it ping there for 2 days? Or something happened to him there? I don't know if something happened to him in this area. I don't know. So I'm hoping somebody sees this and goes, oh, I know somebody that lived where he dropped his phone off. They might have been moving. They might have been putting their items in a storage unit, right? I don't know if there's a storage unit here, but or moving somewhere. Maybe he was helping somebody move. I don't know. Anyway, if you have any information, please contact authorities and give them that information, because somebody out there has to know something, right? Somebody knows something. There's some apartments here. I don't know where the cell phone towers, Trader Joe's, Sunset Park, Sam's Club. I just have no idea. But he's been missing for a long time, and I'm wondering if that could be him. I'm wondering if he made it home. And that's what bothers me. I'm wondering if something happened to his phone right here, of course. Or, yeah, he had to have been there because they said they saw him. They said they saw him on camera in that location where his vehicle was. Because I had thought maybe, I wasn't even sure if he was with it. But it seems, I can't help but wonder if he didn't make it home. And then, but I don't understand about his phone. So anyway, please pray for his loved ones and his family. And somebody out there has to know something. Somebody knows something about what happened to this young man. And if you know, I don't know if that could be him. I don't know if I have no idea, but somebody knows. So please pray for his family and his loved ones. He was only 30 years old. He had his whole life ahead of him. But not anymore. And don't think that if you know something, that you don't want to get somebody in trouble, because he had his whole life ahead of him. And this is just horrific to me when something like this happens. It's really troubling. And his family loved him so much, and people loved him. They were, keeping track of his phone. It was here, it was there, and then it was no more. And they don't even know. It's hard enough when you lose somebody that you love, a brother, a sister, a child. It's hard enough when you lose somebody you love and you do know what happened to them. But imagine not ever getting to know what happened to them, not being able to have their remains, not even being able to scatter their ashes or anything. So please contact authorities if you have any information whatsoever. Feel free to leave comments, and have a blessed day. Bye-bye.